Hi everybody, it's me Julia. I'm here today to do a first impressions kind of review on my latest foundation, Revlon Nearly Naked Liquid Makeup. So I was kind of afraid to try this because I thought that it was going to be very dry and just kind of like really sheer and dry and not really do a very good job on my skin, because a lot of the people that I've heard review it kind of have combination or oily skin. So I must admit I was a little hesitant to try it. But then as I was at my Revlon counter at my Walmart last night, I noticed that it was only $10. It was under $10. It was like $9.94. So I thought, okay, I'm going to give it a try. So the idea behind this is that it's basically a sheer buildable foundation that just gives, flawless look to your skin. They have kind of an interesting display set up for choosing your color. They've got like this little mirror, and on top of the mirror is like a color wheel, and you can like look at yourself in the mirror and spin the dial around, and you can actually kind of see, it's like little sheer plastic films that kind of rotate around, and then you can kind of see how each color or shade will look on your skin. And I must admit that it did do a pretty good job of helping me pick what color I ended up buying, but it was also a little kind of, it wasn't really the most user-friendly because it was kind of down low, so I was like crouching down and spinning this wheel trying to find out what shade matched my skin. It did actually work because I was torn between the two lightest shades. There's a shade called Vanilla, and then another, the lighter shade in the pinky area, I think was called Ivory. It's got Ivory in the title. They always have Ivory in them. But based on that little color wheel, I ended up actually going for the Vanilla. When I first saw it, so this is number 120 Vanilla. When I first saw it in the jar, I thought, looks a little dark, especially when I was comparing it to the other, to the Ivory one. But I find when I go for those like really pale shades with a little pink undertone to them, it ends up looking really white on my skin. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try this, and it ended up being perfect. I feel anyway that it's just a perfect match for my skin tone. It's got more of a warm, without being too warm, it's got more of a neutral or warm undertone, which really helped with like kind of even out my redness and everything. And so to me the color match was absolutely perfect. And they had a really nice range of colors. I didn't see how dark they went up to, but it's nice to see a line of foundations that have like kind of warm and cool undertones, because you don't often get that. So as I said, number 120 Vanilla. Let's see if I can get this thing to focus. And it's just perfect for me. It looks a little dark in the camera, but let me just do a swatch for you so you can see. So just kind of like full strength there. And then once we shear it out, it's perfect. So the only complaint that I have is the fact that there is no pump. I like the size of the bottle. It's a nice glass bottle. It's not too big. It's a nice shape and everything. But there's no darn pump. And I really think that Revlon, come on, it's time you start listening to us and put pumps on your products. And I don't think it's really a question of cost. Like, you can't say, well, in order to keep the price point at $10, we had to forego the pump. L'Oreal, Rimmel, CoverGirl, even Hard Candy have foundations that are all around the $10 mark that have pumps on them, and they're not inferior products. Like, this is a really nice foundation, but it's not like, keeping a pump off is, keeping the difference between $10 or $20. I think we'd all pay an extra 50 cents for a darn pump on our foundations. It's so messy to, pour out, especially if it's a foundation that's buildable, because you have to go back and get more. So you end up with too much, or it's just a mess, and before you know it, your bottle is a mess. That's not a make or break it thing for me, because I still really like it, but I just wish that they would listen to us and put pumps on their products. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so as the bottle says, it's a very kind of light coverage, but very buildable. And this is what really sold me on this foundation this morning as I was using it. It just totally blends into your skin perfectly. I think a lot of that has to do with the color, and the fact that I was able to get a really good match for my skin tone, because sometimes when you have you know, like a foundation that's too light, it actually ends up looking like you can see it on your skin. So it was, I think the color was part of it, and I think just the formula is really nice. It's not, it's just, it's so nice and smooth on your skin. I think it's got a good kind of formula for people that have a lot of different skin types. I have very dry skin. I definitely think this works for people that have dry skin. I also think that it would work for people that have obviously normal skin, but even like combination skin. I think it's a little bit too kind of moist for people who have extremely oily skin, and I don't know if it would be creamy enough for people who have super dry skin, but if you're in that kind of like dry to combo, I think this would work really well for you. And I have heard a lot of people that have combination skin talk about this very favorably as well. So my initial impressions are, this is fantastic. I really like it. I like the price point. I love the color options. I love the fact that there's now that I can get like that kind of neutral or warm undertone. It gives me a really nice kind of highlight look to my skin without having any shimmer. I can't see any shimmer in it at all. And I'll just show you how the kind of the coverage is here. So just on my hand, you can see what the finish is like and what the coverage is. And it's just so nice and smooth. It doesn't feel dry. It doesn't feel tacky. It doesn't feel wet. I do think I would recommend getting the powder that goes along with it. I have not tried that yet, but I think I might, because it's still, you know, it stays a little bit dewy on the skin, so you might want to finish that with the powder. And I mean, even I would consider going out and getting the powder, but you can see just a really nice kind of look to the skin. It is covering like the freckles on my hands, but it's not completely hiding them, and I like that, because to me, once I start getting too heavy a coverage, then I get real like cakey face, and I don't like that. So overall, I'm very happy that I took everybody's advice that has tried this and told me to try it, and I'm really glad that I tried it, because I think it is fantastic so far. Again, initial impressions, I've only used it once, but I love it so far. So I will keep you updated as time goes on, but I'm giving this a really big thumbs up on first impressions. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye!